I am tired. This weekend was a blast. That's right. I'm talking about Martha's Vineyard, Obama's 60th birthday party. We got the invite, and it was a rager. It was a party to be remembered. I'm still getting over it. I am gassed. But we are still bringing you this episode despite all the fun we had this weekend with the former president on his Martha's Vineyard compound. But boys, wouldn't you know it? A lot of people are salty that they got axed from the invite list.
Oh, haters! Sorry you weren't there. Sorry you weren't there to enjoy heaping helpings of major. I'm still walking off all the major I ate at that party.
Larry David was, summarily executed at the party. They kicked him out. Do we have a full list of like the musical acts? Because that Common performed the Gap song. The Gap hoodie rap, which is Obama's favorite song.
And then he just busted out the Microsoft commercial.
Yeah.
Started yelling, "We're living the future we always dreamed of."
That is probably the bullshit Obama listens to.
Yeah, he's just like nodding his head like, "That's right. We are. We're living in that future."
It was fucking sick. I mean, like I loved the different colored themed rooms. The ebony clock centerpiece was fucking amazing. When Chrissy Teigen fucking got up on stage and did some like live roasts of a teenager until they cried. She did some crowd work that had me in stitches.
I was invited. I couldn't make it. I think it looked like pretty fun. You saw from Erykah Badu. It is interesting. I couldn't believe that Erykah Badu was there. But party's a party. And Obama looked like he was shooting electricity on the dance floor.
Everyone was wearing a tan suit. It was wonderful.
Well, I come back from the vineyard, and what do I see? It's covers in the New York Times of what is going on with Obama's 60th birthday bash. The former president scaled back the guest list for his party on Martha's Vineyard. Who's in? Who's out? I mean, if you have to ask that question, you're out. You're out, loser.
Well, so Larry David and David Axelrod were axed, apparently.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, like, David Axelrod, that kind of like rubs me the wrong way because it's like, not that I like David Axelrod, but it's like, he's like thinks the exact same stupid shit that Obama thinks, and like David Axelrod was there from the start. David Axelrod was driving that limo in Peoria. This is like a Jay-Z and Dame situation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's who the bungler is. He wanted to become president so he could hang out with famous people. So that's what he did. So yeah, that's fucking loser politics nerds.
That's what sucks about Obama though. The most is like he did sell his soul to hang out with famous people, but like the famous people he wants to hang out with are like Chris Martin and like the bassist from the National and Common.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people, specifically point to not just David Axelrod, but like much of his former White House staff did not get the invite to the party after the guest list was pared down. And a lot of people are saying, oh, like there's something, I don't know, a bit classless about that to, cancel David Axelrod's invite, who, worked closely with Obama for like well over 20 years and probably more than any one individual is, helped and is responsible for his success and him being president. But, if you're going to choose between them and, I don't know, Bruce Springsteen or Don Cheadle, I mean, who would you invite to your party?
Probably Don Cheadle. I mean, like, Springsteen, sure, but like Don Cheadle.
He was in Ocean's 11.
That's true. I mean, did any of the Johns make it? I mean, with Axelrod, you can understand because when Axelrod was at Rolling Loud last week, he said some very homophobic things. He said, "Put your lanyards in the air if you don't have HIV." Ladies, if your pussy smells like a Kosey salad bowl, put your fucking phones in the air. But everyone else, like, I presume Dan Pfeiffer, if the Axelrod didn't make it, Dan Pfeiffer definitely did it. Tommy Vitor definitely didn't. Did any of the Pod Johns make it? Do we have any confirmation on that?
Well, I mean, let's go through this article here. I mean, the New York Times is on the case. It says here, Jay-Z and Beyonce were still in as of Friday. David Axelrod and Larry David were out. Former President Barack Obama's 60th birthday has been anticipated as the biggest social event of the summer for alumni of his administration and friends of the Obama family. a celebrity-studded garden party at Mr. Obama's $12 million Martha's Vineyard mansion. But this week, some invitees were treated to a cold dose of reality when they were abruptly cut from the guest list, while some of the boldest names were not. The party, the uninvited were told, had been scaled back because of growing concerns about the spread of the Delta variant of the coronavirus. In what seemed like fodder for a future episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Mr. David, the comedian and Martha's Vineyard homeowner, was executed. No, sorry, uninvited. I mean, the New York Times, they say uninvited, but, let's be honest, they're working hand in glove with the O'Bungler to cover up the fact that, yes, they did take Larry David and put him in the Wicker Man as Chrissy Teigen and John Legend set him ablaze while they all sung a song. And that was, thank you, Beyonce. But yeah, so let's see here. So were the majority of former Obama administration officials who had been looking forward to the reunion after an isolated year and who generally credit themselves with helping create the Obama legacy that has allowed the former president to settle in so comfortably with the A-list crowd. Well, okay, then you did your job. Sorry you didn't get the invite. You created the legacy so that he can hang out with Bruce Springsteen, and now he's doing just that. So sorry you couldn't come hang out.
Be proud for him. Don't be petty about this. This was what you worked for. Congratulations, you got it. Just look at him out there. Look at him out there. He's doing the Dougie with Bob Dylan. You love it. You're very happy that this is happening.
Obama would run over a grandparent with a monster truck to shake hands with Norah Jones. That's just who he is. You can't get mad. It's like, what the Scorpion says.
Rock me like a hurricane.
I really wanted to meet the guy. I really wanted to meet the guys from Five for Fighting. I couldn't imagine not hanging out with David Boreanaz, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is from Bones. I had to like drink an Amstel with Mark Pryor. Sorry, fuck you.
It says there was some solace among the government wonk set that they weren't the only ones no longer welcome at porch drinks with Eddie Vedder, who is still expected to attend as of Friday. The late night talk show host David Letterman and Conan O'Brien were also cut from the guest list. But on Saturday, as the celebrities began descending on the island, every new paparazzi shot sent a wave of hurt feelings through the Obama alumni network, who had been cut and were left to track the party via tabloids. Celebrity couples Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, as well as Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, were photographed arriving on the island ahead of the party, alongside actor Don Cheadle and comedian Stephen Colbert. Even a Real Housewives of Atlanta star, Kim Fields, was photographed flying into the island. I mean, look, I know they say Hollywood is DC for ugly people, but like once you transcend that, like you can be among Hollywood, which is Hollywood for hot, attractive, cool people. And yeah, your invite is getting lost in the mail. So, sorry, everyone who helped create Obamacare.
Yeah, did you see who did make it though? My man, John Kerry.
Really?
Obama was cutting all these people who have literally been with him since he was like a state senator. Like, fuck you, sorry, bye, fuck you. And then he sees John Kerry's name and he's like, no, he has to make it. I have to drink Molly water with John Kerry.
Well, he is. You got to remember, though, I mean, he is the warlord of Massachusetts. I mean, like, if he didn't invite him to an event on Martha's Vineyard, he could call in the sea gods to destroy him.
Yeah, no. John Kerry would call in like remnants of the Spanish. It would be like, when in Lord of the Rings, when Aragorn has the ghost army.
Yeah, exactly.
I think John Kerry has that.
Yeah.
Except it's just the three guys who died in the perfect storm. It's just those three guys backing him up.
It's everyone who's ever died in the Heinz factory.
Well, I was going to say another reason to invite John Kerry to your party is that his wife is like the plug of all plugs when it comes to sauces.
It's true.
And thinks to dip a little, little hidden hot dog in.
Would you drink like a form of lean where they replace the Sprite with ketchup? Because that's what John Kerry's bringing to the table. I think I would. It's like
I would give it a shot for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't really like Sprite, so Can't imagine how gross it would be if it was dirty. No thanks, future.
It says here, Mr. Obama's decision to cut back the reported 475-person guest list, a number that Mr. Obama's camp never officially confirmed, was made almost a week after President Biden effectively conceded that the pandemic had come roaring back, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said the Delta variant was as contagious as chickenpox and more likely to break through vaccine protections than all other known versions of the virus. But as masks were put back on in many cities and anxieties rose, details of Mr. Obama's party continued to drivel out. Steven Spielberg was on the guest list, the New York Post reported, along with Bruce Springsteen, Mr. Obama's fellow Spotify-sponsored renegade, and George Clooney. An unsubstantiated rumor that Pearl Jam was to perform had to be officially knocked down by both a band representative and Mr. Obama's own planners. Part of a meat-free menu was being coordinated by the musician Questlove, a detail reported Friday by Bloomberg News.
This sounds like the shittiest party ever, man. This sounds like shit.
Not even any goddamn hot dogs? Fuck up.
No hidden hot dogs, just for all that Heinz ketchup. What do you? I take it back. What are you using Teresa Heinz for if it's going to be a vegetarian menu? What are you dipping?
Did you hear that? Like Nancy Pelosi got disinvited.
Yeah,
and
and
they
she
ran
showed
into
up
each
anyway.
Other.
No, I don't know if she showed up at the party, but she was photographed on Martha's Vineyard, where she was just, I'll be damned if I'm not going to the island this weekend. I'm going to let these assholes know.
Well,
I'm doing just fine. I'm having a great time.
She probably walked from Marin County, like Junior in season 5. She was walking around, like looking for Barbara Mikulski's dad. She was trying to walk to Baltimore. My dad used to run this town. What? Are you lost, lady?
I do like though this is because it's like, like the decision to pare back the guest list. The reason that all his all his day ones got the axe was because they were like, oh God, is it going to look bad that we're having a birthday party for the number one special boy in the world, turning 60 on his $12 million estate in Martha's Vineyard that's filled with celebs and glitz and glamour at this exact moment? And it's just sort of like, let my man cook. Let him shine, right?
I mean, no, this didn't make me think that Obama's a bad person. I already thought that, and if you like Obama, this isn't really going to change your opinion on him. And like the COVID shit with it is like, okay, well, like even if you don't have this, like people are still going to fucking bars. People are still, you're really not putting the Delta variant toothpaste back in the tube. I don't think. I think it's probably a bit too late. I presume everyone there like got vaccines. Live your life. But it's a perfect Obama thing because I guess if you have 500 people there, you look like an ostentatious asshole. But if you have like 200, you look normal.
God, that's such a perfect Obama thing.
It's so
That was so like when they were going to withdraw from Afghanistan, and then the general said, we actually need 40,000 more troops, and so instead of either doing that or committing to withdrawal, he goes, how about 20,000?
Exactly.
How about we do a thing that doesn't actually accomplish anything? It looks bad to have this fucking ostentatious bacchanalia in the middle of a fucking pandemic. What if it was slightly less ostentatious?
We're only going to have one guy who's wearing a goat head instead of 7. Okay, man. It's like, no, you're still a fucking asshole. You're still like just a completely cold-blooded, like awful person who's like fucked over so many people who you've met along the way. You've fucked over so many Americans. I don't think you're a better guy for scaling back 300 people. And if you're going to be that guy, be that guy.
I mean, you're exactly right.
I think it would have been pretty cool if Reverend Wright had just shown up in the fan man outfit, just dropped onto the stage, scissor kicked Alicia Keys in the head, and just said, "God damn America!"
Reverend Wright is, man.
I mean, that was everything you needed to know about the Obungler.
Yeah,
was when he cut his throat. That's like, okay, this guy has no heart at all.
Squeeze that guy fucking dry. Reverend Wright, you are invited to my birthday party. I don't think you'll actually really want to come, but like, I think you rock, sir. Well, I'm also a respected political figure from Hyde Park, Chicago, Illinois.
Well, you're right that the decision to, you could either go ahead and continue to have your celebrity birthday bash or cancel it. And this is the perfect Obama moment because it's not like, this makes you look like more of an asshole.
Yeah.
Because the story is about how so you wanted the party to go ahead, so you're like, okay, well let's just cut the guest list in half and just only invite the people we really care about. And it's not the guy who helped you become president. It's it's Dwayne Wade. It's Dwayne Wade and Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam.
Yeah. A lot of people who have known Obama for like 30 years just got the fucking axe for like USA Network stars. That's him. That's Obama, man. I mean, I guess in some ways this is the perfect celebration of him.
It says here, still, Democrats supportive of the former president privately expressed surprise at the casual disregard for optics and wondered why it took until just days before the party for Mr. Obama to change course. For his part, Mr. Obama was soliciting advice from his most trusted advisors about what the best path forward was for revamping a costly, logistically complicated party that had been months in the making. The former president had baseball caps made for the occasion that read 44 at 60. He also hired a COVID coordinator or compliance officer to ensure the safety.
God,
what a fucking
your fucking
loser.
uncle has better like aesthetics and understandings of wordplay than that.
What a fucking loser. I know he's like a multi-millionaire with like a loving family who is president, but like just in his heart, what a fucking loser.
Yeah, because he cares about these assholes liking him. Like, that's it. And that's pathetic.
That sucks, man.
That is pathetic at that point.
That sucks, man.
To care that much about this shit.
Going on, it says, Valerie Jarrett, one of Obama's closest friends and advisors, was in favor of scaling back the party, according to people familiar with the planning. Mr. Obama, those people said, agreed that if his party was becoming a distraction from the White House's messaging that everybody needed to get vaccinated and take extra precautions, he would adjust his plan. I fully support President Obama's decision, Ms. Jarrett said. So did many residents of the island. A lot of islanders were very upset at the prospect of hundreds of people coming over for a party, said Rose B. Styron, the poet and widow of the novelist William Styron, who said that she had been invited to a Friday night Obama birthday kickoff at the Winnetou Oceanside Resort. Everyone is getting very nervous about getting together at all. Wow, that's a real Sophie's choice, am I right? Woo! But yeah, I just like the idea that it's like, well, God, I mean, I wouldn't want my birthday party to get in the way of Joe Biden's agenda. Like that's why he made this decision a day or two before the beginning. Because like, Obama doesn't give a shit about Joe Biden's agenda.
No.
I mean, it's just like he's like, oh wait, this might make us look bad, and it's just like. It's funny that Chrissy Teigen and John Legend were there because like Chrissy Teigen has like ruined her life because she's like convinced that like people do care if she's an asshole to people on Twitter, where it's like, no, you're rich, you're on the fucking guest list to Obama's birthday party. Like there's nothing you can do that really will, I don't know, turn people against you or that like really matters. Like you can just be evil. You can just enjoy being like a rich person who goes to parties like this in Martha's Vineyard.
I mean, like, I don't really, in the grand scale of things, I don't give a shit if she's personally nice or not, you know? It's like, if you're going to Obama's party, I think I've kind of figured out what type of person you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole thing with, like, the optics with COVID, I mean, yeah, I guess, but you're seeing what happens with everyone. Everyone has their thing that they think is, everyone past a certain income level gets to live, like, 70 to 80% of their original life in what you call an American lockdown, where everyone thinks their 70 or 80% is more justifiable than the next person's.
Right.
If it's not
I have an excuse. I have a reason
Right.
to do this.
Right. If it's not going to a fucking bar and restaurant that are still open, it's, traveling a few times a year. And, at the end of the day, that's what we're always going to do.
No, I mean, it does seem like if they're stressing about the optics of this, which I understand. Like, I mean, it's sort of like it seems ridiculous, but like if you're in their position, optics is really all you have to work with, because like as we said, like every other solution seems to have been like already vetoed or just like not a possibility. So if optics are all you're left with, yeah, then I agree. Having a big fun birthday party for all your friends, and while at the same time you're telling people to put masks back on and like cut back on their summer plans or whatever. Yeah, I can imagine that would be a problem for the Biden administration and the Democrats in general. But did you guys see from the memo from the desk of the former president Donald Trump? He had a statement this weekend where he was like, "Could you imagine if a coronavirus pandemic happened on my watch?"
I love him, dude.
He was like, "Could you imagine if you were seeing this if I was still president, like how the media would be covering it?"
He's been awesome lately. Like when he was like, I developed the vaccine. I did a perfect job at that. Everyone's really happy with the vaccine itself. But like now people don't want to take it because like Joe Biden's so weird.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like
yeah.
that's a great.
I don't know. I
reconciling.
think the thing he said made sense to me. He said, "I made this perfect vaccine, but now the government that's telling you to get it is the same one that stole the election from me." And the thing is, what is the percentage of Republican voters who think the election was stolen? Like 80 or something like that. Like they do think that a giant fraud was just perpetrated on them, and then right on the heels of it, the illegitimate government tells you to get a vaccine. You're going to have to, as a matter of like identity and principle and like all the things that we wrap up in like the very thin shred of like personal autonomy that we get is wrapped up in things like this. We're not going to do it. We're going to say no because they fucking stole the election. Why the hell wouldn't they give us 28 weeks later zombie juice instead of a vaccine? That's why I do really wonder what would have happened with the vaccine if Trump had won, because you already saw when he was flogging the vaccine right before the election, some of the people who got into Q and stuff from health and from wellness communities feeling betrayed, and I do wonder how they would manage the dissonance of that, of like him embracing this thing that in every other respect has all of the markings of something that is the work of their enemies and that they
Operation
shouldn't trust.
Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed created the beautiful, wonderful vaccine for this deadly virus that everyone who is inclined to give Trump credit for that already believes is like the mark of the beast. So he's just like, look, I know the number of the beast. You will need it to buy or sell anything. And that's because of me. Where do I get? Where's my credit? Where's my birthday party? And that's the funny thing about Trump is that exactly like Obama, all he wanted out of being president was to be liked and respected by people like Bruce Springsteen, Eddie Vedder, and Dwayne Wade.
And he was always pissed because he had to put up with like the fucking
Ted
Dog the
Nugent.
Bounty Hunter and John Voight.
Diamond and Silk.
Yeah, no, I mean they're goofus and gallant, but after the same goal.
Yeah.
Obama just did it in the correct, most efficient way. And like Trump did it in the way that like kind of a child does it, where you're just like yelling at someone to be your friend. Like, no, Don Cheadle, you have to like me.
I just like last line from this New York Times article here. I thought it was very telling. It says, blah, blah, blah. Unlike Mrs. Styron, Mr. Taylor says he's been looking forward to the party. He has 20 plus acres of land, and everyone was going to be outside. He said, "You're dealing with a sophisticated crowd. I think the concerns were a little bit overblown. Look, this is a sophisticated crowd. It's a 20-acre estate, so these small-minded concerns about COVID and hypocrisy and things like that don't really apply."
They drink their adrenochrome smoothies with their pinky extended.